Hey, Paul Niyama, professionallystrong.com, and I want to help you become the best and strongest version of yourself. So if you have checked out any of my previous videos, you may have learned about setting your goals and how to do that and some common mistakes that people make in the gym. And in this video, I'm also targeting more beginners, and I am talking about the importance of taking progress pictures. Now remember, if you take progress pictures, you don't ever have to share these pictures with anyone. They're just for you so that you can see your results. Now, if you want to share your pictures with other people, then that's fine. But if you don't want to ever share your pictures with anybody, then that is fine too. Most of the time, when I meet a new client, I would talk about why they should take progress pictures. And the first reason that I would always give them is because most people, they see themselves in the mirror every day. You know, brushing your teeth, you see yourself in the mirror. And any progress that you will see by looking at yourself every day will be very incremental. And the reason that these pictures are important is that the longer you give yourself before you check in, the more dramatic your results are gonna be, but only if you're consistently doing the right things that I talked about in my previous videos. Now, if someone is always consistently checking their results and measurements, you may be disappointed because it's not always a straight line from point A to point B. Most of the time, for most people, especially with beginners, there's gonna be some fluctuations with your results, just like with your workouts. There's gonna be good days, there's gonna be bad days, and there could be many different reasons for bad days. You know, not enough sleep, not enough water, having too many calories with your cheat meal. I mean, the list could go on and on and on, but over time, if you keep doing the right things, you will be getting better and better. So, giving yourself that time between checking your results will allow you to still notice your progress even if you are having a bad day. So why else are progress pictures important? Well, I think they're good for motivation. You know, most people aren't positive and motivated 100% of the time. You know, even myself, I think of myself as a pretty motivated person, but even I need some external motivation once in a while. And progress pictures are something that can help to kickstart our attitude in the right direction, because for a lot of people, that motivation can come from looking at how much you've already accomplished. Now, when you are in the midst of doing something great, it can sometimes be a little difficult to see and realize exactly how much you've actually accomplished during that time. You know, a lot of times when I would be training a client, and they were a little down, a little bit of a funk, you know, between their set, I would tell them, go pick up that dumbbell. And it could be a 30 or a 40 pounder or whatever. It was different for every single client. And I was only able to do this with certain clients that had already accomplished a lot, because if they didn't, then it just doesn't have the impact that I wanted. So when they picked up that dumbbell, I'd ask them a couple questions and say, hey, how does that feel? Is it heavy? And you know, no matter what they answered, my follow-up would always be something like, hey, imagine a few months ago, you were carrying around that much extra weight every single day, and now you aren't. How does that feel? So that kind of realization and that mindset shift was very valuable to a lot of people, because it made them aware of all the work that they have been putting in, and it had created a significant change in their bodies. And most of the time, just that realization would help them to snap out of whatever funk they were in, because they were not even aware of how far they've come in that time. You know, progress pictures, they work that same way as that dumbbell thing that I used to do. Many people don't even realize all that they've accomplished until they see their results on a much larger time frame. You know, from day 0 to day 30, or day 60, or day 90, or however long they've been working out and eating right. It's really a good sense of accomplishment that they feel from this. So, when should you take your progress pictures? Today. Yes, right now. Ideally, you should take your pics on day 1, but if you haven't already taken any progress pics, do it today, right now. Trust me, it's gonna help you to be able to look back at all the progress that you've made after you've worked out and eaten right, got your rest. And when you take your follow-up pics, be consistent with them. Try to take your pics on the same day, same time, and I recommend in the morning on an empty stomach, so you don't have any variables of what you've eaten throughout that day. Most people like to take their progress pics every week. You could do yours every 2 weeks, every month, however long you want. But the important thing is to be consistent with taking them. All right, so last point about progress pictures, and I got asked this a lot. What if you take them and they're not a lot of changes. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and I will explain why. First thing that you want to do is ask yourself if the results you expect are realistic for the time frame that you've been doing that work. For weight loss, the industry standard is to lose about 10 pounds of fat per month. And notice I said 10 pounds of fat, not just losing 10 pounds per month. Yes, there are some outliers that will lose much more than that, but remember, when people lose weight too fast, it's usually not fat that they're losing. A lot of times it ends up being muscles and water, and a lot of times it will gain weight back. So if you have an unrealistic expectation, then you need some level setting, and this can be difficult for some people, but it's not always a bad thing. All right, but let's say that you have realistic goals and your results are still not what you want them to be. Well, that can also be a good thing because you don't want to keep going in the wrong direction. And if it's because a component of your program is not effective, you don't want to keep following that program. Remember, your results come from your workouts, your nutrition, and your recovery. And if you're not getting results that you want, then you need to go back and evaluate all of those components and see if one or more of them needs some tweaking, or it may be a compliance issue. And you may not be as strict as you thought you may be, or maybe not pushing yourself in the gym as much as you think you are. If you really want to get some really good results, then you need to track all of that stuff. Write down what you did with your workouts and make sure that you are progressing over time. There's progressive overload. And you got to measure, write down the foods you eat, measure them, because a lot of times people are getting more calories than they think. Track your sleeping because maybe you're not sleeping as much as you think. And I know it can be tedious to track everything, but if you are super serious about reaching your goal, then it shouldn't be that much of an issue. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments section what you plan to start tracking today. And let me know what topics you want me to talk about in future videos. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the notification squad by clicking and smashing on that bell. Smash on that like button. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The links, they are down below. And as usual, the notes for this video, they are on the website. And I will see you next time. Once again, I am Paul Niyama, and I want to help you become the best, strongest version of yourself.